Well, now is as good a time as any time to go over all the fine details about building your constructs, especially with the massive influx of new players that it's about to come in if they haven't already. So, what is up my fellow commandants? Today we're going to be going over everything you need to know about building your units in PGR. We're going to be going over everything you need, including the material costs, memories, harmonization, hypertunes, literally everything you could possibly need to know about making your constructs stronger. So, before we get into the video, you should drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Make sure to hit that notification bell as well to see whenever I drop a new video like this one. Now on to the guide. Alright, so to start, we'll be going over the materials you need and how much cogs it's going to cost you to completely max out one character. The only thing this does not account for is their cups, which, if enough people ask for, I'll make a dedicated video covering cups. Now before we even get started, let me tell you exactly where you can grind out all the following materials at. If you click on Battle, Resources, and Simulated Battlefield, you'll be able to exchange serum for all the materials you need to build your constructs. Once you've cleared the field, you'll be rewarded with the currency that you can use to exchange for your desired materials in the simulation shop. Please note that as soon as you have level 25 authority level in Simulated Battlefield, you will have auto clear unlocked from then on. To start, make sure you have 5,170,500 cogs, which will cover all your costs except for ranking up from their base rank, be it A rank or S rank. To start, let's talk about how much experience pods you're going to need. You will need 166 large XP pods to level from 1 to 80. Next up, skill points. In total, it'll cost 352 skill points to max out all your skills. Next, let's talk about how much it'll cost you to level up your weapon and memories. For your weapon, you will need 16 major overclock alloys, 16 weapon overclock core 2s, 20 minor overclock alloys, and 28 weapon overclock core 1s. These are going to be your overclock materials, and both weapons and memories need these to level up. For each individual memory, it will cost 8 major overclock alloys, 8 weapon overclock core 2s, 10 memory overclock alloys, and 14 weapon overclock core 1s, which for all 6 memory slots will add up to 48, 48, 60, and 84 in the exact order that I've been listing them. Now when it comes to resonating weapons and memories, it doesn't cost any cogs, but it does cost other stuff. In the case of weapons, you will need another 6-star weapon, or a 6-star weapon USB to resonate a signature 6-star weapon. Now if you're resonating 5 stars, then you can only resonate them with other 5-star weapons. Now if you want a guide on what each of the resonances do, I have a video that I'll show on screen here, but that goes over what weapon resonances you should concern yourself with, even if it varies from character to character. One way you can choose to resonate the memories are the red memory USBs. These USBs guarantee the resonance of your choice, however they are kind of pricey, and usually are pretty limited in how many you can get per patch. I generally only recommend using these to resonate your bottom memory slots, as these are typically more important to get right than your tops. Now if you do decide to resonate using red USBs, there's a function where you can click on the reso slots on the screen, where it will take you to resonate all. So you can click on all the slots that you want, be it top or bottom resos, and do them in mass. Now there are 3 other ways to resonate memories, however none of these guarantee the resonance you want. Method 1, by using the same memory set, you can sacrifice a 6-star memory to reso a 6-star memory, or 5-star with 5-star and so on, as long as they are both the same set. Method 2 is to use memory shards, which are much less limiting and you can just continually resonate until you get what you want. Finally, method number 3 is the same as 2, however you're only going to use this if the particular memory set you want to use is currently available inside the simulation shop. By using the simulation scores, when the memory is on sale in the simulation shop, it will amount to being slightly cheaper to resonate via this method, rather than method 2. Now as you may have noticed, there's technically a 4th method. Don't use it. These are special support tokens, which you need for harmonization, something we'll cover a little bit later in the video. Do not waste them on memory resonance at all. Now when it comes to placing memories, most of you will either copy what a guide maker, such as myself, recommends, or you will just look at Grey Raven's general builds and copy that. But do you know how it actually works specifically? The top 3 memories affect your HP and crit only being useful in the physical team, and the bottom 3 affecting attack and defense. So when you're placing your memories, you should put the memories with a higher attack on the bottom, kinda like how you see on screen with my Luna. One final thing when it comes to resonating memories, not all constructs want the same resonances as another one. The resos will vary from build to build, construct to construct. Just keep that one in mind. Now let's cover hypertuning. Hypertuning is basically an extra damage buff on top of the memory's resonance. However, as many players will tell you, they can be pretty hard to come by. Might not seem like it right now, but remember that we are in the synchronization plan currently, which is meant to catch us up to the CN servers, meaning you're getting 2 to 3 times the amount of rewards you normally would. Just something to keep in mind. Now, places you can get these hypertunes are as follows. By completing Simulated Siege for your guild every week, you will be rewarded with United Achievement Points. These guild points can then be exchanged for hypertunes. Another place you can buy them is the voucher shop, however that should be your last resort, if you have literally no other choice. And finally, 2 endgame modes actively reward you with hypertunes. Clash Reflection, whenever a new zone is introduced, has achievement progress, and by completing stages you will be rewarded with various stuff including hypertune mats. We also can't forget about Norman Revival Plan that resets every 2 weeks, which will also reward you with hypertune mats as well. Now that I've told you the main way to get hypertune mats, let's go over how many you will need. 1 resonance slot will cost you 480 blue hypertune mats and 80 orange hypertune mats, meaning that you will need a total of 5,760 blue hypertune mats and 960 orange hypertune mats to hypertune all 12 resonance slots. One last note for hypertuning, you can use the same method as Resonate All, but for hypertuning. Just click on the reso slots on the screen and go to Hypertune All. You can also select Hypertune All from going to the Hypertune section on a memory. Finally, let's finish this section up with harmonization. The way harmonization works is if you have a character signature weapon, you can harmonize it for the cost of 25 harmony accelerators, which you get from Clash Reflection that resets every 2 weeks. Then you will choose a 2-piece memory set bonus that you would like for your construct, and activate its effect for 1200 special support tokens. Now keep in mind that harmonization only works for signature weapons and not 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star weapons. I briefly went over this in my Getting Started in 2025 guide, which you should check out if you haven't already. But here we're going to go a bit more into detail about what Mindscape Pact is and how it affects your construct's power. By going to Battle, Challenge, Special Challenge, here you will see Mindscape Pact. By clicking it, you will then see Border Pact and Sequence Pact. Now initially you will only have access to Border Pact, at least until you meet the level requirement to unlock Sequence Pact. Once you do, you'll be able to do both. So the way this works is by clearing a zone in both modes, you'll be able to assign a construct to said zone. Now for Border Pact, the requirement to assign a construct here is they must have all 6 memory slots fully resonated, meaning you need all 12 resonances. You will also need a total of 8 constructs who are fully resonated and proceed to station them at each zone that you clear. Now when you do this, if another construct is assigned here or not, is fully resonated, they will still get the resonance buff provided. The only requirement being that a fully resonated construct be stationed at each zone. Now each zone will give varying buffs such as boosting your KTE skills by 1 or class skill or signature move or hell even your orbs. The point is they all receive 1 level when you station a construct in a cleared zone. Now the same thing will also apply to Sequence Pact, in the sense that you clear the zones and station a construct to receive buffs. The only difference here is that there are only 6 zones and not 8. Also, to be stationed here, your construct must have all 12 hypertunes. Now I'm sure that you see they are labeled 1 through 6. This is because they are directly coordinating with the memory slot positions. So if you clear slot number 1, the memory slot 1 when your construct is hypertuned will receive the buff, and so on and so forth. Now unlike Border Pact, you don't have any level increases or anything like that. It just gives a damage buff when the memory slot is hypertuned. Now, a quick tip for clearing Border Pact and Sequence Pact as fast as possible. I'm gonna be real, these modes suck with Gen 1s and A ranks. They bug out and have plenty of issues. In my opinion, if you don't want to mold it, use at least Gen 2 or above constructs in each team when you're clearing zones. This will make your life a hell of a lot easier down the road. Well guys, that's gonna do it for this guide. As some of my more longtime viewers may know, I actually dropped a video just like this when Lamia first debuted on Global. However, that video was extremely sloppy, so I wanted to remake it in higher quality and go more in-depth for my lovely viewers. Before we end the video, I want to go ahead and add a note that uniframes and leaps add extra costs onto units. So make sure to check out my uniframe guide or my character leap guides to find out what the costs are and how they work for those. So, did this video help you guys? Let me know in the comments down below and leave a comment saying what else you would like me to cover in the future. If you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified of whenever I drop a new video. I have a Discord you can join to hang out with fellow PGR players, or even if you just need to ask me or other veteran players some questions. So give it a join. With that everyone, take care and I'll see you on the next video.